to talk to you today about stop asking yourself how. So, I am entering in this Future Her series. And so, you already know I've been doing Soft Life Summer, Soft Life series, and that'll continue, Soft Life CEO. But I really want to get into Future Her because there is something about stepping into Future Her, what future her would desire, what future her would do, that I think is super powerful. And so I've been talking to a few people in the last week, and I really thought this video was fitting that one way to stop stressing yourself out about why things don't look the way you desire them to look is to stop asking yourself, how do I make my life different? And I know that might sound like, well, how do you make your life different if you don't ask yourself how? And here's the thing, I think that we have become a society, specifically high achieving women, and I'm just talking to the reflection of myself or my past self in a lot of ways, where I know how to get something done. You give me the step by step list, I'm getting it done, I'm making it happen, no doubt. But here's the thing, because we have been rushing through life, we've been on a hamster wheel, our nervous system is so chalked up, being frustrated, being tired, being all the things, we don't know what we actually desire anymore. We don't know what we're actually aiming for. We just know we have all of these negative emotions and feelings that we're trying to move out of the way. And we are hoping, we are praying that the one thing, that one action, that one step-by-step guide is going to be the answer to all of world hunger in our lives, when in actuality it might just give you that one dopamine hit to make you feel good, especially if you've been a hyperachiever. I am a positive intelligence coach, so I do a lot of work to help high achieving women really get over some of their self-sabotaging tendencies. And one is being this hyperachiever, this person that just has to get so many things accomplished to feel good, to feel accepted, to find their self-worth. And so when you are in this space of wondering, what are the steps to get to this next level life? You may need to take a pause for the cause. I love to say, take a pause for the cause and consider, what is it that I'm actually after? What is it that I actually desire? Versus just going to that shiny object that looks like achievement, that looks like it'll give you the gold star. Because if we're real, we've always been on the honor roll. We've always been that person that was highlighted in sports or in your academics, and maybe in your workplace or in your business. You've been an achiever, you've gotten things done, but you still feel unfulfilled and unsettled in some area of your life. And you know it's time for a transition. You know it's time to give yourself permission to do what is on your heart, what you feel called to do. However, all you keep seeing is all the hows, all the different hows. And it's so confusing because you see all the different hows. You're like, which one is for me? Because that person's life looks amazing. That person's life looks amazing. Maybe that's what I should be doing. And I find that I get clients that feel like they have to do a whole bunch of different things that don't always align because they haven't gotten clear. And I love to help people get clear on the what before the how. And let me give you an example. So many of you already know I've moved to Madrid for a few months. This is my bohemian year. I left my full-time job and now I'm doing consulting and coaching work full-time. And there are so many people, clients, friends, family, all the things that, ask me about how I did a thing. And some people are asking straight up from curiosity, which is cool. Other people are asking because they're trying to plot out what they would want to do. And I am always big, like, let's pump the brakes, because what I am doing may not be truly what you desire to do. And you might not desire the same outcome I desire. And I think it's very important as coaches, as consultants, or anybody that is advising people in strategy for their life, strategy for their business, to be very clear on how do you make sure that people are strategizing aligned with their biggest desires, their values, and not your own. Because even though we might have similar values, we don't all have similar outcomes. We don't all have similar goals that we desire. We don't all have a life that is literally a mirror picture of each other. And I think it's really important that we consider that, especially when you're investing at a higher level. You don't want this cookie cutter strategy for you. You want something that's going to help you do something that is aligned to your life, aligned to what you desire. Now, I do find that a lot of my clients have similarities, obviously, but I am still very much like, even though we can talk about similar things that we want, I really want to be clear on what do you want? What do you desire? What do you want your life to look like? Because I think that is so much more important. We all have a specific thing that has been on our minds that we desire to see in this next phase of our lives. And we get to uncover what that is instead of slapping the band-aid over the bullet wound. Y'all already know what I mean by that, because sometimes we just want to feel successful. Like, we're so nerve-wracked in our nervous system because we have this unsettling feeling of wanting to get something done. And so we'll look at that shiny object, or we'll look at what someone else is doing. And it's like, yes, that looks exciting. Let me go do that. Let me hop on that. And you go ahead and hop on that. You get that dopamine hit, and then you're like, oh, I still feel like this is not what I wanted to do. Or you don't have the grace to do it the way they did it. You don't have the energy, the momentum to do it in the way that they did it, because maybe that just was not your how, but you were just stuck on the way things looked for them. So I want you to practice asking yourself, what do you want, Desiree? What do you want? Insert your name. Say your name. What do you actually desire? What do you actually desire? What do you see true for your life that you desire to see come to fruition? And when you start there, don't just get this real surface level answer like, oh, I want to be coaching, or I want to be a consultant, or I want to start my side hustle. And I'm sounding like that because that's real shallow. We typically start there and we don't know what else we want to do, or it's like, oh, like I want to move and I want to do X, Y, and Z. These are not bad things, but I want you to take it like a level deeper, so you can get real about what you actually desire. Like, what's the feeling that you're after? Like, what is the feeling? Is this a feeling of freedom? Is this a feeling of balance? Is it a feeling of security? Is it a feeling of acceptance? Like, what are you actually after? And then when you get even to that level, so you got the what, that surface level answer, you got the feeling. It's like, okay, what is it that I need that feeling for? Like, what is it that I want to accomplish with that feeling? What would it feel so good for me to, do, knowing that that's the feeling that I'm after? What am I actually after? How would I paint the picture of what that would look like? Like, spending more time visioning. Here's the thing. If you are a hyper achieving person, or I'm sure you are because I'm talking to you and you're listening to this right now, you are like, I don't got time for that. You know the way my life looks? I don't got time to be thinking that much. I want this problem solved now. And that's the problem, that we are in this microwave society, and we have so many people selling things out here in the streets that are going to like solve your problems like that. And I've been a person that has drank the Kool-Aid, like, yes, solve my problem right away, right? That's what marketing does, right? Solve my problem right away. And so it solves it, but if we're real, it doesn't happen right away. It's a process. And so what I want you to do is do better at pumping the brakes. Pumping the brakes before you start just making a whole bunch of decisions without really settling with yourself. Settle down now with yourself on what you actually desire, because you've taken the time to do the deep work of asking yourself the question of what you desire. How do I want that to feel? How do I want to paint the picture? I started thinking about when you're in elementary school or middle school, or just being a student in school as a child, and you get the opportunity to imagine, and you get the opportunity to be creative. And maybe that space wasn't always in school for you, but sometimes that space is even, at home or with your friends playing outside. Like, you had space to be creative. You had space to think. And as we become adults, we don't give ourselves that same space, especially because we work in some organizations, or even in our own organizations, where we're like, everything has to happen fast. Everything has to happen, right away. And we're always moving. But time is the same for everyone. We all have 24/7 that we're playing around with. And because we all have 24/7, what would it look like if you slowed yourself down to move fast? Slowed yourself down to really get clear on the picture prior to doing a whole bunch of stuff and finding yourself back at point A because you didn't do the inside work and you kept going. I was just talking to a friend the other day about how if you don't really get clear about what, you'll get into the how. And if things don't go the way you think, you're going to quickly dial back and not even lean into what is going to happen when any of us decide to make a change, which is we're going to feel uncomfortable. And when you don't take in consideration the discomfort that comes with growth because you didn't take the work to ask yourself, what do I truly want? You won't be 10 toes down on the journey that comes with your what. And you want to be 10 toes down with the journey. I have totally been guilty. I'm raising my hands. I have totally been guilty of not being 10 toes down in the what because I would get distracted with the achieving part of me. It's like, I just want that quick win. I just want to be an achiever. Let me do what such and such is doing. And that'll make me feel like I achieved. But it's really like cheap dopamine hits to feel successful for a short amount of time instead of taking the journey where I'll learn way more about myself, where it's going to stretch me more than I ever have been stretched before to get to an end goal. And that's the journey I'm on right now, is like not, leaning back into discomfort and going into this place where I need to get this dopamine hit. But I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with this journey. I'm okay with how long it takes, as long as it is going toward the direction I want it to go. And that's what I want for you, is that you get to go on this journey. It won't take forever, but it's not going to be 5 minutes. But what does take 5 minutes is actually making a decision that you are going to get what you actually desire because you're going to articulate what you desire, and you're going to make yourself do the hard work, even if it brings you to tears, even if it makes your body uncomfortable talking about it, even if it makes everybody else around you be like, what? Why you want to do that? It's already been in you, but you've been suppressing it. You've been suppressing what future her desires, and it's time to stop doing that. So that is your homework, or I don't like to say homework when I work with my clients. I call it life work, life goals, because this is a journey, right? And so in this future her, I want you to think about, what have you been asking yourself? How? What is that rooted in? What is it that you actually desire? And let go of the how for a while. Because when you get into what you actually desire, the how is easy. Think about all the things you've already accomplished. You didn't have to be convinced about a how, and you might not have even been frantic about a how. You got really rooted in what you desired, and then you just got okay with the how. Whatever how came, and you took a stab at it. If it worked, great. If it didn't, it's like, oh, okay, well, what's the next how? What makes the most sense? You're testing things, you're moving things like a scientist, right? And so I want that for you. So that's what you get to do with your life. Until the next time. If you like this, go ahead and like, comment, share, all the things. I would love if you are interested in my Future Her series so much. I am going to be creating a course on it. I'm so excited about doing this course that I've been thinking about for a while. It's Future Her. And I want you to sign up for my mailing list if you want to be the first people to know about the Future Her course that's going to come out soon. So you can go to my website, DesireeCocroft.com, and sign up for my waiting list. And I can't wait, not my waiting list, sign up for my mailing list. And I can't wait to tell you about this course because it is going to be banging. So until the next time, have a great day, make it a great day, and I'll see you soon.